My father-in-law opened this place in 1950, and I guess burgers and beer must be pretty good. We're still here. Oh, it's very casual. It's very Northwoodsy type. Grandpa used to do a lot of fishing, and most of these fish are his, except the big one, that's Grandma's. It's a place to be almost. It's very clubby. Thank God the girls on the North Shore don't cook. If they start cooking, we're out of business. It's all fresh meat. We get it delivered twice a day. The burgers are machine made. Just too hard to hand pack 600 a day. I think it's the fresh meat that saves our bacon most of the time. I hope we can just continue on what we're doing. It's like a time warp. We've had people move away and came back, and they're real happy to see that not a lot has changed.
So Jason, you've been going to Charlie Beinlich's your entire life. Tell us why you keep going back.
The best cheeseburger in the entire world. I've gone to the best hamburger restaurants all across the country in different places, and time after time it is consistently great food.
Now, what makes a cheeseburger a great cheeseburger?
You'd have to ask Charlie.
No, but for you.
For me, I like, they have a great cheddar. They put a bunch of grilled onions on there, which is to die for. They butter the bun up at the top.
That's very important to butter the bun.
You gotta butter the bun.
You gotta butter the bun.
And I don't know what they do to the meat, but if I had that recipe, I would be opening up Charlie's too all across the country.
Mario, I want to know, how do you say hamburger in Italian?
Hamburger. Actually, you know why I say hamburger?
Well, how was your hamburger?
My hamburger, well, I walked in a place, I looked right away at the sign that says, please wait to be seated. And I've been looking for a hostess or a host for a while, and I didn't know what I was going to go through, actually. So, and then I see people that, I was very surprised with different kind of crowd in that place. I mean, there's from the executive, from a big company, to a family, to everybody. I took a look around, and it's just not my kind of place. No offenses, but it's not just, you know, it's a hamburger place, which is just, I was looking for a menu, and there is only a sign on the wall with the 4 or 5 different kind of hamburgers, and then the shrimp cocktails and the crab shrimp cocktails, and that's it. And that's all it was in there. There was no prices to be listed anywhere.
Well, did you like your
That's
hamburger?
just like Italy.
No, I did not. I did not appreciate it. Also, there was a big sign over there that says that the meat are provided daily by so-and-so food. I did not. I thought that there was a regular average hamburger.
I thought it was great. I think I went in there knowing what it was going to be like. I knew it was a roadhouse in suburban Chicago, so I'm like, does that mean it's not going to have the line dancing or the brawling?
Patrick Swayze in
or Patrick
Roadhouse?
Wait, exactly. But the burgers were good, and that's the whole point of a roadhouse or a place like that. I think you go and you have a beer and you can sit there for hours, and no one will think you're taking up their space.
This is a place that you go to with a group of friends. You have good spirits, have a good time, and best hamburger in the world.
Now, what do you drink with a hamburger?
You got to have Michelob on tap.
I had a
Beer
Rolling
and
Rock, and I felt like a yuppie. I felt so bad.
I think Zinfandel is such a great pairing with the hamburger because a nice smoky char from the grill, and then that fruit and the robust pepperiness from a Zinfandel. I think a Zinfandel and a hamburger is a great pairing. If you wanted to pair wine with a hamburger.
Hopefully, it's not a white Zinfandel.
Well, and do I look like I would drink a white Zinfandel?
No, but
Thank you.
Just specified it. Say it's a red Zinfandel there.
Well, Jason, here we have Mr. Italian here. Who doesn't like your hamburger spot?
You know what? This is not a place for everyone. It's a place
Thank
that
you.
it truly is.
I just found out I wasn't who I was.
No, it truly. This is a place that when you're going to go to Charlie Beinlich's, you know you are going to a bar. You knowing that you're going to a cheeseburger joint. Most hamburger places that you have, they don't have lines of 10 to 15 people waiting in there who've been going there for 30 years.
Well, speaking of which, the wait staff has been there for eons. I mean, do you keep getting the same waiter?
This is the professional wait staff. You can know they've got 7 or 8 people. They have the same vacation times. They're not open Sundays or Mondays, and you know everyone by name.
I don't know. I think the main thing that made the burger special there were that they're so sloppy and mushy and flavorful. And these days you get these really yuppie burgers that are just perfect and perfectly formed, and they don't fall apart, and you have to slice them up to take a bite. And so it's an old style sort of burger.
So, Jason, what do you put on your burger?
I get it as they prepare it. So I go no ketchup, no mustard. I do heavy cheddar cheese and some grilled onions.
Mario?
In this case, I ordered just a plain, and I asked for actually some tomatoes. They told me they had no tomatoes. And I was a little surprised. I don't know if it's wrong ordering some tomatoes with a hamburger, but at that point, that's the only thing I wanted.
Did anything go right for you
You know
in the
what?
restaurant?
It just, don't get me wrong, nothing went wrong. It just, this is my point of view. I don't say that those are bad. It did not suit my taste. I didn't say I wouldn't suggest the place. It's just a place that it probably didn't suit my taste.
Because this is not a restaurant. This is a bar. Yet they have 4 or 5 things on the menu. Supposedly the other things are great too. I've never tried it.
You've never tried anything besides burgers there?
I've had the shrimp cocktail. My wife, who went there for the first time and keeps kosher, she had a grilled cheese sandwich, so I had a bite of that.
I had the chili.
Did you? How'd you?
I liked it a lot. It wasn't as spicy as I would have expected,
Yes.
but it was nice.
One thing that they don't do is they don't change their opinions for their customers, unfortunately. So they won't, if you recommend tomatoes, Charlie's not going out there picking tomatoes the next day to get it on the menu. And you know, there are very few mom and pop type places left in the country where they're doing it their way, they like it, and it's still crowded.
Well, Jason, Charlie Beinlich was your selection. Give us a summary.
If you are looking for a fun place to go with friends, if you are looking for the best cheeseburger anywhere, this is the place.
Tianlin?
This is the kind of place where I'd like to be a regular. It's so comfortable, and you can get enough to eat. It tastes good, and you can just sit there and not feel like you're supposed to leave at any time. They want you to stay and hang out.
It just, unfortunately, because probably I don't have this kind of background, it's not a place that did suit my taste, and it's not a place I would recommend, unfortunately, for a dining experience. But for a hamburger in a bar, definitely a place to go.
Well, you can try the cheeseburgers and more at Charlie Beinlich's, 290 Skokie Boulevard in Northbrook, 847-291-0420. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Saturday. Reservations are not accepted. And the average tab per person without drinks is $13.